And right at the top, you can see in the message center, there's the 1.9. I tend to put that in my favorites so it's easy to see.
Right.
Uh, so I can get it to the top of the list straight away. And again, I don't know if you've come across it, I use FOE Helper, which helps me an awful lot with the calculations. But if we do it without FOE Helper, and then I'll show you what FOE Helper does. I don't know if you've come across a FOE Helper.
Yeah, Tiger's had it clear. As you know, she forgot to update it, and she was banned for a day.
Oh, right. Yeah, you have to make sure you get it updated. They get
Yeah,
they get very upset if you don't update it because it does things that Inu don't like potentially. So providing you keep it updated, Inu are fine with it. But you can do it without FOE Helper. It does some things that are very useful from my point of view, from a guild point of view.
right.
But let's look at the one at the top there, the Hager, which is happens to be KJ's. So if I go into KJ's Hager, so I'd find KJ's Hager, and I can see that next spot is set. I can see the next spot is second, and the reward on second would be naturally 70 forge points.
Yeah.
But at 1.9, it's going to be 133 forge points because it's times it by 2, take away 10% of the original. So 70 times 2 is 140, take away 7 is 133. So I know I'd need to put 133 on to take second place. And
Right.
if I look at the same, I mean the maths isn't complicated. It's something you can
Yeah.
do in your head. But if you use FOE Helper, and you can see FOE Helper is telling us it is actually 133, and because I've got an arc that's bigger than 80, I'd get an extra forge point back. But at 90%, it is 133, and because it comes up green, I know it's completely safe.
Yeah.
The other calculation you need to do is the remaining forge points to level that building are 257, and you could do that manually or you can use the tool. It's obviously easy to see using something like FOE Helper. So I because that's come up green, I know that that's safe. But if you times that by 2, it's more than 257. So you're definitely going to be safe.
Yeah.
In putting that on. So when you do put it on, the rule that you use is you declare what you're going to do first, and then you actually carry it out. So I would actually copy everything, and I've removed second place to show that I'm taking second place on the Hager. So you
Yeah.
remove the place you're taking, and people can see that it's you committing to that because obviously you're sending the message.
Yeah.
Okay, and then put the forge points on afterwards, because if you do it the forge points first, someone else might be trying to do it at the same time.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I told Tigris about the which is putting into any of the threads for the forge points to put your great building in first before you put in the forge points to the person you're putting them below.
Yes,
Because somebody else could jump in and put their forge point in their great building, and then you're left in limbo, and I'm here.
exactly. Yeah, it kind of it just marks the spot. It can
Yeah.
and it's amazing how often that two people are doing it at the same time. But it works cleanest when you actually post your intent and then carry out what you're going to
Yeah.
do. Because if you both get in at the same time, one of you can see some, the person that's posted first has got rights to it. The second person then needs to go and change it and either take the next spot or just delete the message.
Yeah.
So that's the simple principle of it. When you're placing a building, you need to look out for things in terms of other people bidding on your building, because if they've got spare capacity, so if I select a building and again use the FOE helper to demonstrate it because it makes it easier. Let me take that one. I haven't opened the next level, but FOE helper allows me to look at the figures that would be on the next level. So to allow that to make it secure for first and second place, I would need to put on 59 forge points to make it secure for first place. But the difference that would actually mean, it means that there is potential that people could put, first place could put on 1625 on there, second place could put on less than the 817 and still get second place and snipe by going lower than usual. But they block out anybody else from taking second place there, and they get a cheap second place. But basically, you as the owner of the building, you've got the disadvantage. There's two ways you can deal with that. You can go to that person. If they're in guild, they shouldn't be doing it, and you just say, look, you know, this is in the 1.9. Can you make it up to 1.9? Shouldn't be an argument. If they're outside in the neighbourhood, there's probably very little you can do about it. If they're in your friends list, send them a friendly message and say, look, I'd posted this building in my 1.9, it screwed me up, can you make it up to 1.9? And if they don't, then you can consider removing them from the friends list or doing them the same favour at some point in the future by screwing their 1.9 up. You can't guarantee against the sniping over the figure or under the figure, or people trying to make a profit. You can cover it to a certain extent, but it just can't be eliminated completely, and it's just part of the game. So